Yo, yo, yo. It's your boy HifiVega. This is Nikki 6 at night or reverse polarity. And we were talking about JVC. I did not look up my whole spiel, my intro, so I got to get on Google Keep real quick because I am joined by the man who never sleeps. It's not loading. He is the one who knocks. It's Dean. It's Dean. It's not loading. I can't get it to load. What's up, Dean?
Hey, man. How's it going?
Yeah, it's going good. So this has already been a bit of a disaster.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah,
That's okay. What were you trying to load? Your
yeah. I had a little spiel, and it will not load. Let me kill this and see if it'll load.
okay.
Because I took time to do this today, and
I know. I look forward to it every week. It's like,
yeah. Okay.
Here we go. All right, take two. Ready? Hold on.
Take two. Let's just start. All right, clean slate.
Let's just start fresh.
Nothing happened.
Yeah, pay no attention to it.
All right.
All right, ready? And go.
Yo, yo, yo. It is Reverse Polarity episode 36. It's me, your boy, HifiVega. I'm joined, as always, by the man who never sleeps, the one with knowledge of the fest, the man who once said, "Be kind, please rewind." What's up, Dean?
Hey, man. How's it going?
Yeah, it's going.
Oh, my gosh. Dude, I'm still tired. We are still exhausted. Oh, my gosh. It's just ridiculous. Hey, I was thinking about we need to have Scott on the show.
Scott.
Power Hog.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I want to get him on because I want to do like a. I was thinking about this while I was listening to your Jesus. I was thinking about this while I was listening to you and Big D, and you were talking about getting guests and stuff like that. But I would love to have him on because I want to talk SPL because I know about SPL, and I'd kind of like him to school me on it, so to speak, kind of give me a 101 course in SPL design and the wherewithal of the logic behind all that.
Yeah.
Because a lot of it just escapes me.
My knowledge of SPL ended in like 2002.
Yeah, and mine ended in 92. So yeah, we could put it in a band pass and call it loud. It's like we put 4 in a car and we're like, yo, bro, we're dropping some major hertz.
Yeah.
Putting some pain on you.
Yeah.
So
what did it do at 80 hertz, bro?
Nothing. Nothing at all. Not with that band pass. Do nothing.
Yeah.
But no, I was thinking that'd be cool to get him on and just have him kind of I could just ask him a bunch of questions.
Yeah,
if he's up for it, I would love to do that.
Listen, if there's one thing we know about Scott is Scott can talk, man.
He's perfect.
He's good on camera. He's like a Dean Light.
I'm down. All right, let's get him on. We'll set that up, Scott. We'll get you on whenever it's convenient for you. Just so it's a Thursday at 8:30.
Yeah, just you can have any color you want as long as it's Thursday at 8:30 p.m.
It's like we're the basketball game was on this weekend, which of course I watch no basketball. And one of the guys was like, "Oh man, who's playing?" And some guy told him the name of the teams. This other guy goes, "Oh man, I love hockey." And Fran about fell out of the chair because he was just like, "Oh my god, that's so perfect." Like, who cares? I mean, you're talking about a freaking car stereo nerds. Like, the fact that anyone was there watching sports is like, what's wrong with you guys?
Well, Sue was watching something because I've seen posts. I've seen posts on Facebook.
Oh, she's watching the Lightning because the Lightning are going to our game 2 of the Stanley Cup was last night. So, game 3 is tomorrow night, as I'm informed. She's already told me like 10 times what the schedule is, but I just keep going.
You're like aggressively not remembering.
Trying desperately to remember, but it's just not. It's not sticking. It's like. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like going to hockey games, but the thought of sitting here watching it for 2.5, 3 hours, I would rather. I'd rather not. To me, that's 2.5, 3 hours of something that I could get done. Pretty much anything. Like
you can edit yourself saying something 10 million times in a row.
Yeah, or just counting the little popcorn on the ceiling. I have this whole corner over here I need to do. Yeah, I'll
You
be
gotta
busy
you
for
gotta
like
get that rush though, man. There's like an excitement when like there's a team you're going for, and like you're down with this team. This team is you, and
it's just frustrating.
it's highs and lows, man. It's like
I don't like
when you're
that.
on the
It's just
lows, it's bad, and the highs are so high.
so thinking of team sports and your daughter playing volleyball for her whole
Yeah,
lifetime, it seemed like until she decided not to. At Knowledge Fest this year, it was the high school girls volleyball champion thing
yeah,
going on. So it was like we had to walk through all of this to get
to get to
to
that.
us. And a buddy of mine, this guy named Ricardo, and this other guy named Arturo. Arturo owns a place in San Antonio. I think it's called Audio by Art. Nicest guy in the world. Love his work. And the other guy is Ricardo, who has a YouTube channel called, for any of you Spanish speaking people, it's Monster by Rachel. And he does this guy. He's like a master fabricator. Owns a shop in Mexico City, Mexico. And he's like twice the height of Fernando. It's freaking hilarious. He was on a couple of our lives. I don't even know where I was going with this. God, so him and Art. See, I'm tired. Just gonna say. So him and Art have never seen high school volleyball ever.
Yeah,
So they were chilling, and they walk up and said, "Hey, we don't have any passes for this or anything. What do we have to do to get inside and see it?" And like, "Oh, here, you just need these bracelets." So they went inside. They had never seen high school women's volleyball.
yeah.
As you know, watching high school women's volleyball is a vicious sport that
Oh yeah,
is very unladylike. And like these guys were like they came back almost shell-shocked.
yeah.
Because you see these girls walking back and forth, and you just think, oh, it's just these little nice girls. And then you see them, they're just like, "Rawr!" I mean, you're just like, I started laughing because so how'd you like that experience? And they're like, we had no idea. I said, how long did you stay? As long as we could.
But see,
I was like,
we could get some of these stories from the source because guess what? We're gonna have Bailey.
really?
One of her favorite movies is Baby Driver, and her boyfriend. That's why I got the wide lens today. So
Okay.
on the good old side jag, we're gonna have
Perfect.
2 guests.
Oh man, I feel bad now because I was thinking we need to find some better movies because I'm watching that movie last night going,
You didn't like
yeah,
Baby Driver? Oh, well,
I don't know.
dude,
I enjoyed Baby Driver as much as I
yeah.
possibly could. But in the back of my head, I'm going, I watched it once already. I thought I was good.
Oh, dude. We'll save this for side jag.
Yes, yeah. Oh, for sure, no doubt.
Arguments will be had, I'm sure.
If Morel was playing against Dayton Audio DSP, Morel would win every time. I would have gone and seen it though. That's for sure. We thought about going to see it, but then we just didn't have any time. I mean, we were so busy. Oh, I haven't seen a single one of Side Jake movies yet. Well, okay, well then you're in luck. Then watch, because you'll love the show. We'll get you on. You can be a guest. We'll do a 2-for. We'll have you on for this, and then when you have you on for that, I think that's a great idea right there. You can just do 2 hours of your night.
Yeah,
Gone.
next time.
Yeah.
Hey,
So
I mean, he doesn't need sleep. Who
does?
He's a
It's
small business
overrated.
owner. He's used to it.
Yeah, snap on, schmap on, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, those tools are overrated anyways. Anyways, so yeah, Knowledge Fest was incredible. We had a great time. We can't wait to do it again. And then Brian Schmidt over at I'm way too tired.
The one thing.
Yeah, it's on my wire ruler, for God's sake. Mobile Solutions.
Yeah.
Sorry, Brian. I'm tired.
I was gonna help you, but I honestly was losing it as well.
Anyways, Mobile Solutions announced their new thing that they're going to be doing in March of next year, where they're going to be doing like the mega show. So, and they had Mark from Cardio Fab up talking about that on Thursday. It was like an hour-long thing. So that was pretty cool. But no, Knowledge Fest was a trip because, so Saturday, Thursday or Friday, we got there. We got there Thursday, as you know. And at some point, they said, hey, we have a Saturday live show we need to do. Could you host that for us? And my answer to everything is always sure. Yeah, whatever you need. Yeah, sure. Okay. Because I'm never going to say no. So where I screwed up is I had no idea what I was supposed to do. I had no idea who I was supposed to talk to, and I had no idea what I was supposed to ask them. So, so it was. I was supposed to be there at 1:30 Saturday for a 2 o'clock show, and at, I was in the back parking lot of the convention center filming a car of Arc's, one of Brian Mitchell's pickup trucks, his pickup truck.
Yeah.
And we got we had to take everything out of his truck, film it, and then put everything back in his truck. And then it started to rain. And of course, then Fernando's going, dude, it's 1:30. Where are you? I was like, oh shit.
No.
So I have to legit run from back of the parking lot through the convention center, down the stairs into and like, I'm here. It doesn't start till 2. I'm still here.
Can I get a water?
Yeah. And then like one time, I think I ran this convention center at least 4 times. Like legit, grab my backpack like this and just.
And it's the Dallas Convention Center then.
It is exactly. It's worse. Like,
were you on the second floor? Because the one I'm used to from volleyball.
So this was the Rosen. This was Rosen, the Rosen Center.
So this does it have the train that comes in the middle of it?
No.
Okay, so I'm thinking of a different place.
Yeah, so the actual Orlando Convention Center is across the street. This was the Rosen Center's Convention Center, but it was attached to the hotel. And then there was like a breezeway, and then you actually enter through the second floor. And I don't even know if there was a first floor, to be honest with you. But it was just crazy. It was so I'm like, we're walking over the first day because Chris Bennett was like, we were doing some videos for JVC, hence the shirt.
Yeah.
Or here we go, since the shirt. And I had to return them because they were going to show them off that weekend. They were going to introduce them that weekend. And so we brought them with us to give to them. And I said to Bennett, I said, hey, we got to go drop these off with them. And they're like, I said, how do we get there? And he goes, oh, come on, I'll show you. And we start walking. I'm like, Jesus, where the hell are we going? Like, does this thing ever end? Oh my gosh. And we're walking so we like Friday, I was telling everybody, I put in 11.5 miles on Friday.
Wow.
It was so stupid. But yeah, it was like 3 to 4 miles every day. Oh, and not only did they have teenage girls volleyball, they had high school boys wrestling.
Oh, there you go.
Could you really? Could you not think this one through? Bad idea? I mean,
there's gonna be hopefully no teenage babies, no teenage mothers.
Oh my god, dude, they were everywhere too. The nice thing was they went to bed at a reasonable hour, so as the night wound down and we didn't, the hotel was ours for good. So
yeah. Well, see, the secret thing about volleyball is they want you there at 5:30 in the morning. Yeah. Oh, you don't play to 8? Yeah, we're gonna be at 5. We're gonna warm up and do this stuff.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to.
Well, yeah, because when I go down into the lobby and it was packed. Yeah. I thought it was at Disney. I mean, it was just packed. So it was ridiculous. But with that being said, we had a great time. We filmed a lot of videos, a lot of good stuff. So we're going to work on getting that out over the next couple weeks, getting that out there. But yeah, it was fun. We got to do the Sony thing, which was really cool, where we introduced the new radio.
I seen that. So, that's one I've been working so much stupid overtime, but I did catch that one, the Sony announcement.
So the radio, one of the cool features about the radio, aside from all the other stuff that's like super cool, it's super hot DAC and all this other crap where there's already like, well, they didn't put this and blah blah. Who gives a shit? Dude, listen, it's a beautiful looking radio. The screen is gorgeous. It's going to sound amazing. And it's got the closest thing to a real DSP in it that we've ever had. So it has 6 channels of equalization.
Yeah.
So you have left, right, front, rear EQ plus 2 channels of equalization for the subwoofer, which means you can actually do 2 separate subwoofers, EQ left, EQ right, or you can sum them together and just have a 5th channel as a subwoofer. But if you're one of those goofy guys that wants to put, let's say you want to put a sub up front and a sub in the back, or one on the left trunk, one on the right trunk, or whatever, anything like that, you'll be able to do that with the sub. But really the bonus is you can EQ left, EQ right, and it's parametric. So it's like,
did you get, so that's kind of ADPR-ish, but does it do a 3-way up front and plus sub?
No, there's no There's no network mode at all.
Yeah.
It's legit just front, rear, and equalization for all 4 corners plus sub.
So can you use front, rear? Like rear would be the door speakers, front would be
the
tweeters.
crossovers won't allow you to do that. So the crossover, there's a method, there's a reason for it.
And I quit caring. As soon as you said that, I quit caring about that Sony.
There's a reason why they're doing it that way.
Because they hate us.
No. Okay, listen. 90% of the people that are going to buy this are going to do front rear sub. Yeah. Okay, right off the bat, they're going to do front rear sub.
But this thing, I'm assuming it's going to cost like $2,000.
No. It's only like retails like $1,300.
Oh, okay. Well, that's more reasonable. I mean,
yeah,
reasonable.
Okay, it's right in line with all the radios of that caliber. So when you're looking at a 10-inch floating screen, Alpine Kenwood, the Pioneer, the Sony, they're all going to be right in that same amount of money.
So a dude with a squatting truck's going to definitely buy this, 100%.
I'm sure somebody will. But there's a reason why they did it the way they did it, and then they said we can't talk about it anymore. And then they talked about it some more, but then they said you can't talk to anybody about it anymore. I said, okay, that's fine. So more to come. More to come on that
More
one.
To come.
More to come.
It did look cool. I like
it was gorgeous in person. You know.
The one thing I hate about head unit crossovers is, like, I know you can give me a bigger crossover. You're just not doing it.
Because it's consumer based.
Right. Yeah.
You know, if you want a better crossover, buy a DSP.
Uh-oh. Got a team.
No, you know, those Illusion Audio 8-inch are awesome, and they fit a lot of things. At the Morel is a 9-inch, so the Morel is big.
I've had the Lucent 6s, the 6-inch component set with a 10-inch Lucent subwoofer.
Wow.
But I will say the subwoofer is more like a mid bass.
Yeah, I mean it's an 18.
Yeah.
I mean, that must have been a pretty. By the way, HifiVega was a crack dealer back in the day.
I had these recently, not that long ago.
Yeah, okay, big money.
Yeah.
I mean, both of those brands are super expensive. So, right. I mean, I know a lot of guys that do the 3.5-inch, you know, the C3Xs up in the dash with the 8-inch in the door. A lot of people do that, which is really nice. I've never really had a lot of experience. Like, we don't do a lot of 8-inches, so it's hard because like that Morel is a 9-inch, so it really doesn't fit into a lot of things. Morel isn't exactly user friendly in some regards that way, but I think a lot of them are.
He's already got the dude. If you already got the Lucents, use the Lucents. Come on, they're sick.
I mean, if you got them, try them.
Yeah. What vehicle takes an 8-inch? Is there any that you can stock 8-inch?
No, very few. Most of them are 6x9, and like you're trying to get these guys to it's like, hey guys, make a better 6x9. Well, you know, no. Well, you knows, just make them. I mean, if Alpine can do it, you can too.
Every truck has them now, don't they? 6x9.
Yeah, every truck has them now. Yeah. I'm at a point now where I need to put a DSP into my Excursion. I want to do a pair of channels per door to get better tweeter mid-range difference. Yeah. I mean, for sure, that's definitely the way to go. You know, nice 10-channel DSP all day long. You know, the thing is like
and EQ all them subs.
Dude, time delay on like all those subs would be fabulous. I mean, you know how much better that would sound? I mean, that's one of the things that Jeff does when he's tuning those big walls. Yeah. He's just aligning all of those speakers to where they arrive at the same time.
Well, if you remember, Alma Gates done that with her Precision Power. She had time delay just so it would bypass some of the power compression because the way that they were aligned literally in rows.
Yeah. I mean, why not?
Sup, man?
So
I do have a poll to this time.
You have a what?
I got a poll. I put a poll up.
Let's look at the poll.
And guess what? It is car audio related.
Holy crap. I didn't even think that was even possible.
So, and it rolled into our topic.
Okay. You have $500.
I didn't tell you what the topic was. It's the best.
No, I was going to read this and figure it out.
All right, let's go then. Let's go.
You have $500 to upgrade your system. What's the most worthwhile investment to you? High fidelity source unit, subs, amps, electronic upgrades, and DSP. What would fall into the electronic upgrades? What would that be?
Electrical, that would be alternator. So this is going to decide who's who. Are you an SPL guy? Are you going for big bass? Are you going for just sound quality? But our electrical upgrades are batteries, alternator, big 3 upgrade, stuff like
Okay.
that.
Gotcha. Yeah. I mean, I feel like those two are probably the most popular.
Yeah.
I feel like most people would pick the electrical upgrade over the DSP just because the DSP scares them.
Yeah.
You know, they'd just be like, "Oh, I don't need that."
Well, I
But
think
you
the
know,
DSP is, the sound quality guy. Obviously, if someone that's wanting better sound in general, is the
which is
DSP is going to
sad
be
because
top.
like the SPL guy could benefit greatly from a DSP. I mean, anytime we get one of those systems in that we put DSPs in, it's like, oh my God. Like some of the most crazy loud systems we've done have been stupid speakers, speaker by the pound with
Yeah.
DSP. And it's like they sound good. Like
Yeah.
really good. Like you don't even believe how good they sound. As opposed to just the sound that you get out of them now.
And the thing about, sometimes people forget that the actual tuning of the system, the setting up of the system is more important often than the equipment. The equipment is important, but if
Yeah.
you have a decent level of equipment, something basic, you can do pretty good stuff with it.
Yeah. You can really shine a turd.
Yeah, you definitely can, especially with the DSP.
Yeah.
Let's
Do
see.
you have any good comments?
Yeah, we had some good, adding this, if it's a stock system, adding a subwoofer makes it a ton better. So $500 would get you one of those Rockford
Yeah.
Fosgate amplified boxes. That'd be a huge upgrade.
5 o'clock special all day long. Yeah.
And then we see alternators. People want alternators.
Yeah. I mean, I feel if you have like that 1500 watt sub amp and that, 5 to 600 watt 4-channel amp,
Yeah.
like adding a battery wouldn't be a
Right.
bad idea, especially if you're looking at like, but here's the rub. Okay. So you say $500.
Right.
You could buy some RP or compatible RP product.
Yeah.
And not even have spent $500 on both your amplifiers.
Yeah.
So like legit for $500, you could get all your power,
Right.
And if you think adding a battery and an alternator to that, I mean, what a waste of time. Because, you didn't even spend, because, I mean, it's just a waste of time. Buy better equipment. Buy better equipment that's more efficient and not worry about it.
Right. But no one's going to do that. Some people will. Some people
Okay,
will,
that's what we do.
I know.
But yeah, I get it. Oh no, I get it. But it's like if
Yeah.
you have an extra $500, which I understand, $500 is a lot of money.
Yeah.
But a lot of people settle. That's the one thing that just irritates me about car audio is everyone always settles. It's like I don't have money to do that right now. Okay, when will you? Because if you're gonna have the money to get the product you want in like 3 months, wait. Why?
Yeah.
Why would you want it? Like, when I bought my first 280GX, I made the mistake of buying like 6 amplifiers before I bought that. And then when I finally got it, it was like, what a dumbass. I should have just bought this from the beginning. I paid like 5 times the amount of money for this amplifier. That was dumb, because of all the crap I bought before it.
Well, I would argue that if you have cheap crap right now in your system and it's inefficient and you spend the 500 on an alternator, that is an investment into the future, because if you get better equipment later, obviously you can supply it more power, you can get better equipment that's more efficient, and you can just keep growing from there.
No one will do that.
Yeah, no one will do that. But see, no one's going to do anything we say. Yeah. Yeah. Or, I mean, you could just get more of the cheap stuff. And
I like Allen's. Yeah, for 500, you could buy crazy good sound
That was one in the comments.
Dampening.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the best. There you go. Make your car quiet.
Yeah.
I like that one. And do it yourself, because when you pay me, $500 ain't gonna get you a lot. I'll tell you that right now. You'll be like, how much did I get for $500? Wow, I was kind of hoping for more.
Yeah.
Sorry, Fernando's not cheap.
I think spending
I think,
test gear.
yeah, I mean, definitely $500 on test gear is the way to go for sure. But there again, it depends on what you're going to be doing with test gear. I mean, do you need test gear? You know, we'll talk
It
about
depends
that
on
another
what you
day.
want to in what you want to do with it, you know. But
Yeah.
what's your guess for a topic if you hadn't read it yet?
Oh yeah, I haven't read it. I probably should have. There you go. It's right at the top of the page.
Right. So that's the top of
What
the
is
page.
what is the best bang for your buck?
In-car audio.
In
It could
car
be
audio.
anything. It could be anything. It could be tools. It could be speakers. It could be sound deadening. It could be.
Man, that's a tough one.
Yeah.
Do you have some ideas on that one?
I think that sound dampening
Yeah,
at any price is the best bang for your buck in car audio.
I can see
Because
that. Yeah.
you gain so
sorry.
much from sound dampening, sound treatment in general to your system.
Mhm.
It's invaluable to the rest to your whole system.
Well, yeah, and that's a lot of people like I cringe every time I see on Instagram someone put a set of like Focal flax in the door of a car, and there's no form of fastering, and I just use fastering as a generic term of
Yeah.
some form of barrier that forces that mid-range into the door. It doesn't necessarily have to be a fastering. It can be whatever you want to make it out of, but something to force all that air into the car.
Yeah.
And then there's no sound treatment at all. So it's like the only thing it has is a plastic baffle screwed to the door. And it's like you realize that the speaker you took out had more work done to it than this. That $5 speaker you took out was mounted better than this $750 set you put in there. And you're trying to tell me that guy and don't get me wrong, I know it's true because I have this argument all the time. I just won't put them in your car if you don't spend the money. And say what you will, but if you're spending $750 on a set of speakers, it does me no good to do a generic install on them because why?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just taking your money at that point. I'm not doing you any favors. So, you know, it's like I'll explain to them, hey, you need to buy the sound treatment. But most of the time I just say it's going to cost you this much to have them put in. And they're just like, wow, that's a lot. And you go, no, that's just what it costs. You're buying a high-end speaker. They just, you know, it's like when you buy the big supercharged motor and you bolt it up to your factory transmission and you wonder why on the first launch, your transmission launches through your firewall. And you're like, what happened?
Yeah.
Gee, I don't know.
Well, and at the end of the day, you know, it's kind of your name and your brand is on this when you do this. So you can put a $2,000 pair of speakers and just bolt it straight to the middle all day and make money. But, you know, you have an image. You know,
and I will gladly install your bazooka tube, but the install is going to cost about double what you paid for the bazooka tube.
Right.
So, because it doesn't matter what we install or what it costs you to buy it, our install is just what it is. So, you know, I don't care. I mean, doesn't affect me in the least. It's like it's going to get installed one way. It's not like if you have cheap crap, we're going to install it cheaply. I mean, it's all time and equipment. So, you know, if you show up with something that's like less than stellar, and you're like, hey, I want you to put this in, no problem, we'll put it in. You know, I'm going to try to talk you out of it just because it's like you're going to pay us you're getting a 5-star install, whether it's garbage or it's great. You might want to go for great because there's no changing it down the road. You know, you can't just like pull that amp out and put a new one in. Those zip ties don't move.
Right.
You know,
it's another 5-star install situation.
You're going to be paying for another installation. So that is one of the disadvantages of it. But, you know, but we also deal in the fact that most people that want us to, we're not swapping stuff out. You know, we're not building in that swap out thing. It's like this, most of, I'd say a good 99% of the times we install something, this is the system it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like we're going to swap out something else.
As you should be, because it's not cheap. It's not cheap to get this work done. So you better know what you want when you get it done.
Yeah. I mean, every now and then you'll get somebody like that'll like, so for example, like let's say you do a kicker key 4-channel and they're like, you know, I'm going to come back and add the sub amp. It's like, okay, cool. As long as we know going into it, we'll leave a spot for it and all the wiring can be done. I'm like, I had a guy do that. I had a couple guys do that, you know. Man, bazooka tubes, more like a 4.5. They're more like a 2.5. Bazooka tubes suck. Nothing against bazooka. I mean, they were great in the 90s. It was a great idea, but
Yeah.
You know, even the 10-inch, man.
I
Oh,
don't think I've ever owned a bazooka tube. I've heard tons of them, but I
we
never
put
owned
in
one.
tons of them, man. We had that stupid nitrous looking one they came out with after the original
Oh,
Fast
the
and
Fast and
Furious.
Furious? Yeah.
You know, I was like, ooh. But no, like, bang for your buck, immediate sound difference. Everyone always, that's like the number one thing people always ask. Oh, is sound treatment worth it? Okay. Okay, so when your car is buzzing and going and you put your hand on it and it stops
Yeah.
and you're like, oh, that sounds better. Well, that's what sound treatment does. So I
Right.
mean, is it worth it? Well, I don't know. It sounds like it is to me.
Yeah.
But I mean, if anything, like the bare minimum we suggest is doing a set of fast strings. Like if you don't want to do the sound treatment, do the fast strings. When we do the fast strings, we usually put a small piece of sound treatment behind the back plug, just
Yeah.
because we don't want to have to pull that off ever. So we'll put it, you know, because sometimes someone will come back and go, oh, I want to do the sound treatment now, and you're like, okay, you know, so yeah, you'll do that. So
Yeah.
and then the other thing too is if you are going to do fast strings, do yourself a favor. The fast string is not made to go on top of the speaker. It's made to go around the speaker so that you can remove the speaker.
Yeah.
I love it when people put it on the speaker and you go, well, you might as well just taking the $30 and throwing it in the trash, because if you ever
I'm
have to
guilty.
service that,
I've done it before. When I first
okay.
got fast strings, I didn't understand how they worked, and I put it right on the. Yeah, it's a disaster.
Does Paul get a cut of each install? Well, considering he pays us, he gets a cut of everything.
Yeah.
We're salaried, man. Yeah, I get the same whether I work 5 days, 10 days, 2,000 hours, or 3 hours. It's a straight salary, so it
Man.
doesn't matter to me. So yeah, he has good weeks and bad, mostly good.
It's
Yeah.
like government. He gets his cut before you get your cut.
Oh, he gets his cut everything. He gets his cut of everything, man. That's the joy of being an owner. Hey Dean, what do you do about customers who ask for custom enclosures? We have a group of people that will build boxes for us. So fortunately now there's enough companies out there that will build pretty much anything we want. You know, we use there's like right now I'm getting the mega box built. I haven't talked a lot about this. But Sound Digital gave us a uranium subwoofer. It's this gorgeous, giant, green, and big, massive thing that I was just like, okay, yay. So I reached out. There's a place in Georgia. And give me a minute and the name will pop in my head. But right now it's just not coming there because I suck. But they build boxes for anybody. You know, they do a lot of truck boxes and stuff like that, custom truck enclosures. But I called them up the other day and I was like, hey man, so check this out. And they're like, yeah, man, no problem. I got you. So, and I call it the mega box because when they asked me what I wanted it to look like, I said, all right, so check, if you were to build a 112 ported box that you had to show all your talents off on, that's what I want. So gave them free reign to do whatever they wanted. But I'm like, they know it's going in Haley's car. Because the guy that's building it, Biscuit is a no Biscuit, go figure. But anyways, Biscuit? That's his nickname is Biscuit. Everyone calls him Biscuit. Yeah. He's told me why, and I'm just like, okay. He's the nicest guy in the world, and this guy has more talent than I will ever have. So I'll call him whatever he wants me to call him. And so I was like, he's like, is that what yeah. And he's a big fan of The Boring Life of Dean and Haley. So he's like, you got this, man. I'll get this done. So traffic jams in Georgia. And then down here we have another company called SRQ. We also have a private guy that like I can he used to work for a company that built boxes. This company down here, we used to have Bright Star that went out of business. So he builds stuff at night at his house. So if there's something I need that's specific, that's just a generic, box. I can just send him blueprints that I've made up and he'll make the box for me. So, most shops are getting away from this because I can pay a guy to do it. Right. Then why would I want to do it myself? I have other things I can do that I can that are much more profitable as a retailer than spending 5 hours building a box. You know, and like I can just send you to MTI Acoustics. You have a truck and have them build you a gorgeous box with plexi and leather and lights. And, you know, so either one of Traffic Jams or those guys will make you the box. And then, you know, what is it? Fox Acoustics with the super SPL Rhino line boxes. It's like, and then there's another one that we use if we like need it and it needs to be reasonably priced. There's a company called Zen Enclosures that makes like a box for like everything. Every sedan you could possibly think of. It's like, yeah, they got a box for that. It's like, okay.
Wow.
So
I rolling into the topic, I will say that I think a custom enclosure or a custom enclosure design that someone does for you that you can do in a box is a huge bang for your buck, because if you're throwing prefabs up there, you're gonna get prefab results. When you have a custom enclosure for your subwoofer, it's gonna be almost night and day sometimes.
Yeah, oh, there's no doubt about it. I mean, if you can get a box that is to spec, or at least close enough to spec, then it's totally worth it. You know, even Scar there for a while was bringing in boxes for their woofers that were really nice, man. I mean, like really well built. I was like, I mean, other than they had big Scar on the top of them, which is cool if you're putting a Scar woofer in it. I was like, dang, these are really nice boxes, man. You know, like inset sides, they're built really well. And that's the thing. I mean, you know, when you look at, like, for example, like if you look at like Kicker's Q boxes, the L7 Qs, like that box, oh my gosh, the box is gorgeous. The material they use on that, I just like, oh, I love this so smooth. You know,
I love the preloaded jail enclosures. I love the preloaded Kicker enclosures. I know you have the little 8-inch cube, the metal one.
Oh, from Kicker?
Yeah, that thing's freaking awesome for how small and compact it is.
I've only heard the wall that they have of those. I've never actually heard a single. They have it in the little Fiat. Yeah. Off of a Key 500. But I was like, sometimes when we go to these things, actually getting sound demos is like the last thing on my list. It's like, I don't care. You know, like, oh, you should hear this. Should I? Should I really hear this? I mean, do I really need to hear? Yeah, you should hear. All right, let's hear it. Because most of the time you sit in these things and it's like, yeah, okay. Yep. Sounds like a stereo. Yeah. Good job, guys.
They got Nando in there. He might have liked it a little better.
You know, it's funny. No, don't let his sunny disposition fool you. Because I mean, you know, like every now and then you go to these things like, oh, I want to hear these cars. I want to hear these cars, and it's like, who built the car? You know, if Brian Mitchell from ARC builds the car, I want to sit in that car because I know that what I'm sitting in is going to be something special. Like he will take a car and you'll just sit and go, God, like, oh my God, like sound. It's like it's sound that sounds so good, and it'll play anything. And you just be like, I don't care. This is awesome. Like I hate you because you make this stuff sound so good. Like I just feel so inadequate when I'm around you. So I'm just gonna hang around you so I can walk in your shadow. And he's short, which makes it really hard. But and then other times you'll hear something and you'll be like, so am I supposed to be liking this? Because I mean, you know, I just took a deuce and the noise that came out of my butt into the toilet was way better than this, you know.
Wow. Are you talking about like manufacturer builds?
Oh yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. I've said this on 12E Talk, like I've said in SQ vehicles, like competition vehicles, that I didn't like
worst.
Yeah, I didn't like them. They didn't have enough life to me. They weren't for my ears, I guess.
No, and that's the problem. It's like a lot of those cars don't, you know. It's very hard. It's okay. So we're at a show and they're like, oh my God, did you hear this car? It's the best sounding car there. And I'm like, it is?
Yeah.
Okay, because I legit know the best sounding car here. It's over there because there's a plaque on it that says this is the best sounding car here. Like there's they won many shows, and so by all accounts, multiple judges have said that this is the best sounding car. you might like the way that one sounds because it's more appealing to you because the tweeters are blaring and the bass is pounding and the mid-range is non-existent. So like that might be what you like, which 100% is the case because boom, boom, boom wins every time, until you sit someone down and explain to them what they're listening to. And then they go, ooh, wait a minute. Let me go back and listen to the other one. Oh, none of that is there. And we know this is true because Bose home audio is one of the best-selling home audio things of all time, and they sound like crap. And I apologize to anyone that has Bose home audio. They're great if you live in an apartment and you don't need to bother your neighbors. But as a real surround sound in a house, no, it's just not that exciting. And if anyone wants to tell me, boo, my Bose will, no, it won't. No, it won't. It won't go up against my stuff any day of the week.
Yeah.
Not even a chance.
Some of those like sound quality systems, they're very flat.
Very flat, very boring. No excitement at all.
A recording studio. And be like, I think if it depends on who the judges are. These people say that this sounds good.
Right.
But if more people say this sounds good, what really sounds good? I understand that they're the experts at this given thing, but I think that it is changing because the builds that I heard had a lot more bass, had more volume.
Mm-hmm.
We weren't listening.
Well, you have to have that. You have to have that second preset.
Right.
And that second preset is the one that's like, all right, so this is for that. Like Jeff, one of the things Jeff talks about is like, I've got like 15 presets. This one is for this judge. This one's for that judge. This is for my everyday driving. This one is for like smooth jazz. Like, hey baby, I want to lay you down. It's like, okay, well, I don't want to hear that one. So for sure. That's no doubt. If you got one of those for the question on the dual voice coil center channel, if you got one of those Toyotas with the dual voice coil center channel, for one, just disconnect it. It's not a true center channel at all.
Yeah.
It's literally just the left and right signal powered into it that if you ever try to upgrade the stereo, like put in an amp or a radio or something like that, it's just going to wreak havoc on everything. So just disconnect it. It's garbage.
I had an in-depth conversation at someone at SQology who was dealing with that nightmare in a Toyota truck. So
yeah, just disconnect it. Just throw it away. It's not doing anything.
Rolling into best bang for the buck, what do you think about DSP on whole? Just DSP adding to your system?
Yeah, I mean, okay, so let's take it from like we'll take it from the one I absolutely hate up to that $499 price point, which is like 30 DSPs. Okay. If you have a system, whether it be active or passive, so minimum, let's say you have a 5 channels, front, rear, sub. You throw a DSP in there, even with a basic understanding of how DSP works, just simply like changing your crossover points from the amplifier to the DSP to where 80 hertz is actually 80 hertz and not 75 or 90. That alone is like, wow. And then having level control, so that you can, time alignment isn't the most difficult thing in the world. You sit in the car and you have your spouse or girlfriend or best buddy measure from you to the mid bass.
Yeah.
Measure to the tweeter just to do yourself a favor, because in some cars where the tweeter is on off axis or off axis in the door panel, sometimes that really, really screws up going to the mid bass. And we found that actually going to the tweeter in that case will move the soundstage up, as opposed to, if it's on axis up in the top of the dash, just don't even worry about it, because that's just like go to the mid range. It's way more important. But, adding in that time alignment and then having level control to center that up or just to turn this side down, because I can guarantee you, most of you guys, this side of the car is way too loud. Too loud. And if you want to figure that out, go into the balance and fader and just balance to the passenger side, just like 2 clicks, and you'll be surprised how much better your system sounds. But it'll add depth to the whole thing, because now what's happening is by quieting this thing down, you're letting that side of the car's like left and right exchange
Catch up,
happen?
yeah.
And it's like, oh shit. I have more than one speaker in my car. That's amazing. You know? So yeah, adding a DSP adds a whole new level of like, plus the other thing too I like about DSP, especially the DIY side of DSP, is that
Yeah.
like I remember back when I first started, I bought my little Kenwood single din, half din. So it was the little tiny one that was like this big. You know, it
Yeah.
had like 7 or 8 bands on it. Like when I bought that, man, oh my God. I was like, whoa, wow. Like it's just not bass and treble. I can
Yeah.
actually like mid-range and oh, there's more sounds.
Yeah.
So I thought that was fun. And I think from the DIY perspective, like adding in, even if you don't know what you're doing, you could sit there and figure it out. So it adds that whole new level of interest to
Yeah.
it, I guess would be what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I
Your
mean, you
thoughts?
can actually change the sound of your system. You can control it. Even a built-in head unit DSP versus just hooking up an amp and speakers can get you somewhere. Because, like you said, you can get 80 hertz now. You don't have to guess on the knob where you're at, and you can set your time alignment. You have level controls. In some of the nicer units, you have left and right EQ. That's a huge thing. Left and right EQ is a big thing when you're actually trying to get something to sound good. Even though I'm not great at it,
So,
just
it's
having
funny.
it's nice.
One of the funny things too that I was talking with I don't remember who I was talking with somebody. We'll just leave it at that. And they were talking about how they use the iTest mic with an iPad to tune everything. And I was like,
Yeah.
how do you do that? Like, do you sit in the car? And he's like, no, silly, I don't sit in the car. And I go, all right, keep going. So they have an iPad with a suction cup mounted to it, and they stick it to the driver's side window.
Yeah.
So the mic is at the headrest, and then it's stuck to there, and they just sit at the side of the car with their laptop and adjust it. And I was like, that's freaking brilliant. I mean, you got like one of the coolest DS, like you got this awesome RTA for 150
Yeah.
bucks.
Right.
Like that works great, but the major flaw has always been you have to sit in the car with it, and you figured it out by just sticking it to the window. I hate you.
Well,
It's like,
the cord's pretty long. I guess you could just shut the door on it if you had to.
well, yeah, I mean, you could probably shut the
Yeah.
door on it, but still, I mean, you
Yeah.
don't. It's unlike our cable, we shut it in the door. If we end up breaking it, I just buy a new cable. It's no harm, no foul. If I like keep shutting that in the door, eventually it's gonna die. So I'm all for the suction cup to the side of the thing. I mean, it's like
Yeah.
brightness all the way up. You're good. I mean, you sit there with your laptop and look at it and be like, yeah, no, that works. That doesn't work. That
Yeah.
works. Okay, cool. I was like, that's genius.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. If you, I mean, yeah. Who
No,
wants to
I
be in there
ran.
with
Someone asked me I ran tonight. I wish I hadn't because I really like I had to make up for missing it. So what did I do? So my stats for the night was I did 3.1 miles at a 7:22 pace. So
Yeah. It's way faster.
It wasn't bad, huh?
Yeah, that's way faster.
That was fast. That was yeah. It wasn't too bad for an old guy. I mean, there's no Usain Bolt, but I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. I'm trying to think. Bang for the buck is always a tough one, but for $500, man, like back to the $500 thing, man, you get a really nice set of front speakers for $500.
You're getting into the low end Dyne audio, pretty decent Morel setup.
Yeah, you get the Maximus.
What?
Yeah. Virtus are a little bit more. So you could get into the Maximus, because they make that Maximus set, which is the Maximus 602 Mark IIs, which is a 6.5 and a tweeter for like $280, something like that. I think. Yeah, they're super reasonable because they don't come with the illustrious Morel crossover.
Yeah.
So but man, I don't care. They sound freaking awesome.
I don't use crossovers anyway, so I didn't need them.
Ooh, hey, running around naked.
I'm not trying to use that Sony head unit. I got DSP, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I feel the same way. I got factory.
Yeah.
You know, it was funny if you guys caught their show last night. One of the first topic was volume knob. Like, don't do away with the volume knob, and it reminded me immediately of this funny story. That Alpine had at the time the Alpine trainer, this guy named Bob Elise, was the trainer, and I believe it was him that told me this story when they're all in the room with the Japanese, and someone sat there and said, "Okay, everyone, show me how to turn up the volume." And everyone goes like this.
Yeah.
And they go, "Okay, so if I go like this, do you know to turn up the volume? Then why do our radios not have volume knobs? This is not controlling the volume." That was that weird stage where Alpine went to all push buttons, and then if you follow, like 2 years later, they had a volume knob again, and that was why, because that person figured it, and so Alpine has been pretty good at keeping volume knobs on the radios, but it's still one of those weird things.
It like denotes something of quality when you got a good volume knob, like especially in home audio. The
Yeah.
feel of the volume
Oh
knob.
yeah. Ooh, yeah. The audio control is just like
Yeah.
it's almost like it doesn't want to be turned. It's almost like and you're like, oh my god, yeah.
I
Oh,
love
oh
this.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't like it. It's hard. I like it. Oh,
Well,
okay.
I think part of the problem, like when we went to touchscreens, the volume knob just kind of disappeared because it had to get to be so small.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, this kind of sucks.
At that
And
point,
then
I think the push button is acceptable because you're just touching the screen.
yeah. Well,
But
that's
the
the cool thing
physical
about
push
like
buttons like make me mad.
well, did you know JVC, if you just put your finger in the middle of the radio and go like this,
Yeah.
it will turn up and down the volume.
There
So
you
it's
go.
actually a volume knob on the touchscreen. So it knows when you put your finger in the center of the screen and go like this in circles to turn the volume up and down. So I was like, I didn't know that. Fernando was like, like early on when he started working there, he goes, whoop. And I go, yeah, so there you go. And I was like, whoa, 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 what the hell did you just do? He looks at me and he's like, I knew something you didn't know. I was like, yeah,
But see,
but
my dream is that they make it where it's got a camera in it. Some of them. So I wanted to, if I just give it one of these, like, and I was like, yo, turn it up a little bit. You have to get the custom emotes, man.
I just want it, like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or just turn the radio up. There's somebody working on that, more audio stuff. But
Yeah.
at the levels that like we play this music at, I really don't think an audio cue would work.
No.
Because like I was sitting in a car today for a guy that we got in and we retuned for him, and because it's been a year, the speakers are nice and broke in. He's like, "Can I bring it in when we tune?" I said, "Of course, let's go for it."
Yeah.
And because that's a lot of fun when the speakers are set in their ways and they're all locked in, and it's like get it back in and just erase it all and just go back at it and just be able to A/B between what it was when it came in and what it is now, and just see the subtle differences between it breaking in and sounding really good, but then being able to just tweak it just a tad for that with the RTA. And it was like the range that it was really exciting. But needless to say, we're sitting in the car and we're listening to it, and it's like, and it's like there's no like turn it down auto cue that'll work. So it's like,
well, some things don't need technology. It's very easy to do. Just be like,
yeah, or just do this.
Yeah. Steering wheel controls. In that case, in the case of a steering wheel control app, that's 100% acceptable. If you like using that, to me, because
there was
on
a
the unit
couple.
itself. Yeah.
There was a couple that had little thumb dials.
Oh.
No. O is no. Because like they would break, and then when you'd have to add steering wheel controls, the thumb dials wouldn't work anymore. And you'd be like, listen, sorry, but this it can't program that. It don't work. Yeah. And they're like, oh, so I'm trying to think of one last bang for your buck, but I think, if tweeters, so one of the most overlooked things like it still bugs me is like someone will come in and they'll want new speakers, like,
Yeah.
and they'll buy a set of coaxials even though they have a set of components.
Hmm.
And they always ask the same questions like, do I need to replace those tweeters? And the salesman always says the same stupid thing. Well, that's up to you. You've got them. We're going to sell you a set of speakers that has tweeters, so you'll have 4 tweeters. And it's like, great. So you'll have 4 crappy tweeters. Awesome. You
Yeah.
know. So I really feel best bang for your buck is when you're going to buy that really nice set of coaxials, maybe dumb it down and buy a okay set of components.
Yeah.
Because it just like having that expanded, like that's why the manufacturers of the cars have switched to these things, because it's really expanded the soundstage in the car and just made it sound bigger and louder and wider. And yeah, having 4 tweeters is fun, but when the
Yeah.
tweeter's down low on the door panel, you're not really hearing it anyway. So it's like,
No.
man, this was dumb.
And I judge every component set I listen to by the tweeters.
Yeah.
That's the mid bass or secondary to me. Like, how does the tweeters sound? Because those are the things that can be the harshest. They can make or break your system.
No, they're definitely gonna. I hate salespeople. Me too. That's why I don't consider myself a salesperson. I consider myself a custom outfitter for you.
There you go.
My job
You're
is just to
urban
take whatever
outfitter.
it is you're talking to me about and tick the boxes that you want. So, anytime someone asks me, it's like I have to design these systems for these people, but I don't consider myself a salesperson. I know what questions to ask to hopefully get you what you want to do. And most of the time I'm on point. And some of the times I'm not, because you have it's always the only time things don't work out is when there's some kind of communication error between what you're actually telling me and I
Yeah.
can't, you're using the word, but you're not putting it where it needs to be.
Yeah.
It's not the right word. You use something like, and what we know now that like clear and bright and clear, I want my
Yeah.
tweeters clear means I want them so fucking loud that my eyeballs bleed.
Right.
And I don't know how that word ever got associated with tweeters, but that's usually what clear means.
Yeah. Loud,
Tiny,
clean, loud and clean.
yeah,
Get
tiny
that.
tweeters suck until you hear the Illusion C3S or C3s, and then
Yeah.
you go, tiny tweeters don't suck.
Yeah.
Because, dude, man, those 3.5s. I tell you, a $700 set of 3.5s, and you're going, and then you hear them and you go, yeah, okay, never mind.
Yeah. I have I have a big grudge against bullet tweeters, but
Oh
that
yeah,
being said, like compression tweeters, I kind of like. There's quite a few compression tweeters that I do like,
I like the Neo
especially
tweeters.
if they got a nice dispersion in their horn. But bullet tweeters, no.
I like the Neo tweeters because I can put them in almost anything. Like if there's a 2.5 or a 3 and a dash, I can put a set of Neo tweeters in there.
Yeah.
And even though they're like 109 dBs of efficiency, if I'm doing a DSP, I can bring those things down and at a normal level, the amount of the width of sound that they put out and just the detail is like, Jesus, they're really impressive, for sure. I mean, they're not
I've
like,
heard some big SPL builds with bullet tweeters that actually sounded good outside the vehicle,
yeah.
which is
Yeah, well,
crazy.
why wouldn't they outside of the
Yeah,
vehicle?
when you're inside the vehicle, it's just like
I mean, if you go to a concert and the PA is playing and it
yeah,
sounds good, it's the same thing that they're putting in their car. I mean,
yeah,
that's all it is. It's
right.
PA speakers, baby.
Yeah.
But anyways, what do you got going on? What's going on for the rest of the week and part of
Listen,
next week?
I don't want to say it because I still haven't done it, but I got to do that old school. The day has come. Sunday's the last day. I got to do my final run.
Oh,
Get it
okay.
in. See what this Rocker Fosgate 802. I'm gonna be off
Nice.
for a week. I'm gonna be working on HifiVega 2.0, and people will see it soon enough.
Are we doing a show next week?
Yeah. I'm
Oh,
I'm
okay.
off work, but
Oh, I was gonna say, are we canceling again? These guys
no.
are gonna be like, all right, we're not going back to these guys.
No,
These
no.
guys are never there.
I'll be home, but I'm working on HifiVega 2.0. I'm building a website, so I'll let that much of it out.
Ooh. Oh,
We'll see.
nice.
So
Nice. That sounds like a lot of fun. You want to update mine for me?
yeah, It's not going to be great. It's not going to be great.
Oh, it's no
What
fun at all.
what do you got coming up?
Um, there'll be some form of Boring Life of Dean and Haley that'll come out Saturday morning. I don't know if there'll be a video tomorrow or not because I tried to get 2 edited last night and that didn't work out. And
Yeah.
as you can tell, I'm still dragging major ass here.
Yeah.
We got like 10 hours of sleep in 4 days, so it was not easy for us. But we're gonna be off Monday because of the holiday, which is like we just found out yesterday we're off Monday, so I'm like,
Oh.
awesome. So it'll give me time to get caught up. So next week you're gonna, if we don't finish the Corolla tomorrow, you'll get it first part of next week, and then we'll get into the Knowledge Fest videos because we got a bunch of Knowledge Fest we didn't even talk about, but we got a bunch of them. Have you ever heard of German Maestro?
Oh yeah, they're MB Court guys.
Yeah. So we did a lot with those guys over the weekend. We're gonna be doing some more with them. We played with some stuff from Audio Mobile. Oh, I think it's what Audio Mobile, the subwoofer
That's
company.
old school. Listen, you're talking my jam right now. You know, if it's obtuse, obscure, or
Okay.
people don't know about it, it's my jam.
So Fernando got to interview them. We interviewed the guys at Lucas Lighting. Obviously we have a much bigger Sony interview that we did that really gets into the nuts and bolts of it. We interviewed the guys from ZZ2, which and we'll add wireless CarPlay to pretty much anything that has a USB and CarPlay, which I have in my car right now because I'm playing with it and I'm in love because I have my wireless CarPlay back.
There you
So
go.
I'm like, this is awesome. But yeah, we got a bunch of videos and a couple cars. As I said, we got an awesome Chevy and Challenger that's going to be like a 2-in-1 kind of thing. So all that'll be coming out the next couple days or next couple weeks.
What next month? Next month is the other Knowledge Fest.
No, that is in August.
Yeah, next month.
Yeah. Okay. So it's July. This month is vacation.
Oh,
so we're going on vacation here in the next couple weeks. So damn. Yeah, it doesn't even seem real.
Are you gonna try to sneak to work on? Are you gonna sneak something to work on? Or are you actually gonna take a vacation?
No, we're gone. We're going away. We're traveling. We're gonna be filming the Boring Life. We got a whole week of Boring Life coming.
Are you gonna eat Bojangles?
Oh, that's the plan.
Okay.
That's the plan. You know, Haley's
I almost
down,
want to drive up there to meet you. It's too far away, but just to eat Bojangles.
We'll find a closer place. There'll be a closer place. But no, I mean, as far as travel goes, like, yeah, July we have vacation. August we have Knowledge Fest Dallas. September, I don't know if we're doing anything in September. Something tells me we are, but I'm not sure. October we have something, but we can't talk about it yet. And we're also going to the Kiss concert again. And then November is SEMA. So we'll be doing SEMA with audio control. So that'll be freaking awesome. And I think Steve might also be doing that with us.
Oh wow.
Or we might be also doing it with him because he's higher than us. So we might be in the same location he is and sharing some of his space. But Steve's a fun guy to hang out with, and I'm fortunate enough to say I've had the opportunity to kind of like hang out with him for a short period of time, and he's a fun guy. I mean, just listening to him talk and just the crazy stuff that comes out of his mouth that like you get to hear on a personal level he's really cool. I mean, he's really fun.
Yeah, that sounds like a good time.
Yeah, so the years, if we don't get locked in and have to start wearing masks again, everything is going to be great. And 2021 could end up being like a pretty dope year.
Well, we'll see. We will see. Hopefully.
And with that, we're going to end it. For those of you guys interested in the next show, which is going to be over on SideJag, we have a special guest and we have a movie that we reviewed, Baby Driver. If you're a fan, even if you're not, make sure to head over there. It's going to start promptly at 9:45.
Yeah, and I've already.
And if not, we'll see you guys next week. Yeah.
Same bat channel.
Same bat channel.